characterize the talk you had with Owen or Pat in the wake of last night's game, and just clarify for me on the schedule? You intend to practice Saturday in Tampa, and he would practice then, or no?
Yeah, well, let me start with last night. So, I was in Boston at the game. It was, you feel really badly for the way it ended with Michigan, and just how, it was a great hockey game, but tough result for Owen and Eric. So, certainly want to be respectful to them and, the emotion of all of that. And I've been there. You go through so much with your teammates, and then it abruptly ends. So a couple hours after the game, I reached out to Pat and made sure that we had a good conversation and we're on the same page, and also connected with Owen and Eric as well, but with Owen, and we spoke a little bit, and then picked it back up this morning, and now here we are. So that's kind of how the last close to 24 hours have gone. And let me make sure my days are right here. Today's Friday, right? Yeah. So he's Tampa tomorrow. Not sure yet if he will skate tomorrow. We may not practice. So tomorrow may just be kind of a day to get to meet everybody and be around the team. And then Sunday he would morning skate. Probably it's a 5 o'clock game, so probably earlier than what typically you would have. Then he'd be able to practice Monday in Toronto and morning skate Tuesday, and then play Tuesday night. That's kind of how we're planning right now. Certainly we want to sit with Owen, talk to him, with the coaches, and just have a open, honest conversation, see how he feels. But that's kind of the tentative plan.
And just one other thing for me, was there any issue cleared away with the work visas, or where does that stand?
Well, that actually has to be filed, which we've done. Once the contract is signed, then you can file it. Then there needs to be an approval process. So we actually, if he still has not been approved for the visa by the Tuesday game in Toronto, he would still be eligible to play because he's Canadian. So that game is fine. And then we certainly would hope that by the Thursday game to be able for him to make his home debut, but that's out of our hands to some extent.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Kevin, you got me?
Yep.
So you've previously mentioned how self-aware Owen is about his game and development. What do you think he specifically got back in returning to Michigan this year?
Oh, so many experiences, and on and off the ice. If you want to start off the ice first, just being a college student and playing in front of 8,000 fans and the band going, and going in tough environments that makes college hockey so special. I mean, I think those kind of off ice, that feeling is a big deal, and just managing the workload of being a student, and just what that means as a student athlete. It's great. And on the ice, he played huge minutes on a top team in the country, got the chance to go to World Juniors. Even though it abruptly ended, he still put a pretty good stamp in a short time, having a hat trick there, got a chance to go to the Olympics. I think when you add it all up, it was a great development year for him. Because regardless of how young or how talented he is, he's still a young player, and we want to keep helping him get better and better and set him up for success. So really proud of how he handled himself during this season, on and off the ice, and just excited to get him in a Sabres uniform.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Julian, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
So it's finally here. You draft the #1 overall pick. He's the first one in a very long time to go back to college. And you just mentioned a lot of the things that he's learned going back to Michigan for his sophomore season. But how exciting is it for you and for the team, the rest of the front office, and the coaching staff and the guys, for it to finally be happening, that you're getting your #1 overall pick that you had to wait for?
Yeah, I mean, it's a proud day for our organization. We certainly believe in Owen and his abilities, both on and off the ice, just the person he is. You've heard me talk over and over again about culture and what we're building here, and he is a phenomenal person, human being, just the way he carries himself. He treats people well. We're excited just to have him join this group and come in and be himself. And he can just come in and play. He doesn't have to feel like the weight of the world's on his shoulders. He has other people around him that are maybe either, Rasmus Dahlin, that's exactly been in his shoes, not that long ago, or other young players we have that he can lean on. And that gets me excited because, when you're a young player, regardless of your ability, there's a lot to manage and there's a lot going on. So we want to insulate him well in the locker room. We want to set him up for success. And then we just want to let him go play and have fun. And that's why I really believe this stretch of games till the end of the season is so critical for him, because you feel the NHL game, you get a good understanding of, what you need to do to prepare yourself to play, how the speed of the game, physicality, all of it, he'll take that into his off season. And just the way he's wired is the type of kid that processes things very quickly, and he'll learn quickly.
And just checking, after the loss to Denver, how quickly, I think you mentioned that you gave him a little bit to process the loss, but there was never any doubt there that he was coming to the Sabres after that loss.
Well, we've certainly had conversations, dating back to even before we drafted Owen, as we interviewed him and spoke to his representatives, we were well aware of his feeling and his plan of what he would like to do going into this season. We were fully supportive of that for the reasons, I just talked about. But we were also very open and honest in our communication that we felt that when it was the right time, he'd be joining us, and that's what we, have worked towards. So, I wanted to make sure from our standpoint as an organization, we were very supportive of him this year. We were communicating constantly between myself and the staff and the player development staff. But we also wanted to make sure we were respectful, giving him the ability to stay focused, to stay present, and, really be able to put, his all into where he was, which was University of Michigan. And he did that. So that's great for him. And, now it's time to do it with us.
Kevin, Zach with Trainwreck Sports, thank you very much for taking the time on this Friday afternoon. The Sabres will have 4 defensemen now that are 22 or younger. What will that group be able to learn under some of the veteran blue liners? And I guess how crucial does the organization view this next 1 to 2 month window for that young group?
Yeah. Hey, Zach, how you doing? I think it's, you just said a pretty important thing, is that, 4 defensemen, 22 years and under is exciting because, there's a lot of room for them to grow up together and to grow. They're very talented players, but they are young, and we want to keep helping them grow and learn and develop and become the best players they can be. So, I do really strongly believe that it's important to have quality people in the locker room and around to help guide. I mean, I've talked a lot about a guy like Mark Pysyk, on the back end of just kind of his leadership and what he's meant to the group. And, certainly the obvious ones of Kyle Poso and Zemgus Girgensson, and now with Alex Tuck in there, and just his ability to interact with that younger group of players. I think these guys have all learned and grown. But what I also really like to see is that our young players are being themselves. They're growing up and they're taking leadership roles on, and that's what it's all about. So it's exciting for us, but we know we have a long way to go. We got to push a lot harder. We need to keep getting better. And you heard me say it at the trade deadline. That's why I felt this end of the season stretch here for us was a really important opportunity to keep developing, individually and as a team.
Just where do you see kind of Owen fitting in on the blue line over these last 3 weeks? And what's kind of realistic for him going down the stretch? I mean, can he play? Maybe this is a question for Don, but can he play 18 or 20 minutes a night, or should he be eased in? I guess what's your opinion on that?
Well, we want to set, we want to set Owen up for success. You want to put him in a position that he feels comfortable. We'll have some conversations over the next 2-3 days, myself and Owen and the coaching staff, and just make sure that we're putting him in a position to succeed, and also helping him, take a breath and just realize that he can just go be himself. He doesn't have to feel the weight of the world or anything extra stress or pressure. He can just go be part of a group and just play. And I think it'll kind of shake itself out, honestly. But I do think it's an important time for him to just feel the league and see what it's all about. And what I am pretty excited about too, I have to tell you, is a number of the players on our team have connected with me, just in the last hour since the news broke, and said how excited they are to have Owen joining. When's he coming? They wanted to connect with him. I mean, that says a lot to me of what this group is all about, and how excited they are to welcome him in.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin, what's the status, or how close are you maybe with Eric Portillo and Johnson, and especially Portillo, number one, because don't have a goalie for Rochester next year right now with Levi, going back to school, and also his rights, at the end of his junior year change a little bit too for you. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to get that far with it. So he might be a little bit more important to sign. How are you looking at it with Eric and also with Johnson?
Yeah, to back up on both of them, we feel we have really, really good hockey players in our organization. Being at the games last night, I thought Eric Portillo, was tremendous in the game, and really at times when Denver was kind of taking it to Michigan, he was calm. He was holding them, in the game in stretches, which was, on a big stage, which was great to see. Johnson as well. I thought his game was strong. He's had a really good season. Similar to what I kind of touched on a little bit with Owen, you want to be respectful, because these guys have put their heart and soul into something and trying to go win a national championship. And then, it just ends, and there's a lot of emotion, and you want to be respectful of that. But we have already been in conversations with both of them, making sure that, I've been reached out last night and today, a number of conversations just to kind of make sure that, they knew where we are, and just, start that dialogue. And we'll continue to do that. So we'll see how it shakes out over the next few days, but they both, as we sit here at, 4:15, know, how we feel about both of them in a positive way.
Kevin, essentially you get an 8-game lab with Owen going forward this year. Do you envision at any point that would include him getting a little look on the right side?
Yeah, I think that's something that part of the next, like as I mentioned, the next 2-3 day conversations. I've watched him play a few times this year where he was getting reps on the right side, and either the one game I was at, I think he played almost every shift over there. So that is something that we want to talk about. But the nice part about that is, you've seen with our team, Jacob Bryson's played, on the right side quite a bit as of late. I know, Rasmus Dahlin, has played a lot on the right previously, maybe before his NHL career. So doesn't necessarily have to be Owen that would slide over there, but it's something we'll look to do, because you want to, from my vantage point, I want to be able to see maybe a little bit of how combinations could look, or just to help as we head into the off season. So goes back to the Mike, I think, first and foremost, we want to set him up for success. We want to make sure we're putting him in a comfortable position. You don't want him starting his NHL career if he's a little uncomfortable on the right side. And that's also something that happens with young defensemen, as they get, more and more confident playing at this level, then they could maybe switch to the other side. So we'll see how it goes, but I wouldn't take it off the table for sure.
And you mentioned Pesic earlier. Should we assume from that he's the guy to at least start as Owen's partner?
Yeah, I don't know. That's I wouldn't assume that. I think I want to just have that conversation with Donnie first and the coaching staff, just to hear what they have to say. For me, when it comes to Mark, some of those comments are, he's been really good on the ice for us this year, but part of it too has just been his locker room. Just how he's been in the locker room and what he's meant to the group. So regardless of him playing with Owen or not, I do think he'll have a positive impact on Owen here over the next few weeks.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I think that's it for questions. Thanks for your time today, Kevin.
All right, have a good day, everyone.